जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
There was a rain scare at the start of the game, and well, it sure rained a whole lot of wickets. And until Reras came and said, "Let me give them something to cheer about for the KKR fans." Well, that's what the day has been. Welcome to Cricbuzz Live. My name is Saiyami Kher. I have Harsha Bhogle and Michael Vaughan with me. Welcome, gentlemen. It almost looked like KKR. That's the game it was. That yawn there tells us everything. It was quite a yawn fest, the innings.
It's figurative. I wasn't actually yawning, but I was trying to make a statement.
Should we just sort the elephant in the room out first, our predictions?
Well, we came closer because of Dre Russ.
Not really. Nowhere closer. I mean,
We're closer.
127.
At one point, we'd all gone 175, 185, and they were 90 for 9.
195 as well. I think, when we do so badly, we should just conveniently not talk about it and just pretend like it never happened.
I was just 68 out.
But at some point in the innings, the KKR team looked up at the heavens and said, "Oh Lord, where are you?" And someone from the dugout said, "I'm here, you all just didn't get me in the playing 11. They would have wanted a Lord Shardul kind of a innings to save them from what they went through.
Well, they could have put Shardul in, but they sent out Anukul Roy as the impact sub, and he lasted, one ball?
Yeah,
So that
one
didn't
Roy
have much.
left,
And he's not regular 4 overs bowler. So effectively now, they're going to be a bowler short. They have to have Russell bowling his full quota or get Nitish Rana to come and bowl.
Well, we'll have a look at the fall of wickets because the wickets just kept falling at continuous and regular intervals there. We can see that, no batsman could really get a hold and get the innings going.
I thought if you had to have one defining factor to that innings, it was that Jason Roy took 39 balls to hit 43. Now, normally you look at that and say, okay, Jason Roy, big hitter, gets on with the game, 39 balls. Maybe it's a sticky dog. Maybe this wicket, the ball was just not coming on. But it wasn't quite like that.
No, I mean, Jason Roy, when he's at his best, he's obviously a striker of a ball. He hits some nice boundaries. What did he hit? 6 boundaries, 5 fours and a 6?
5 fours and a 6.
5 fours and a 6. But in between those boundaries, he's generally a little bit more skillful. He manoeuvres the ball into the gap. He had a lot of dot balls. He played a lot of shots for not a massive return, and then everyone else was crumbling around him. Ishant Sharma was excellent. We spoke about him pre-match where we thought he might just get a little bit of movement. They got his 4 overs out of the way by the 12th over.
Yeah, 12th.
So that was good tactics on Ishant. Aksa Patel was excellent. There was only really Mitchell Marsh who had a couple of overs that travelled. They were very, very clever in the field. David Warner got his kind of bowling changes spot on. But I just wonder with Delhi, with the way that they've been batting, I know it's not a big number. It's one of those in
You're
between.
not suggesting, are you?
Well, it's Delhi, and Delhi have been batting atrociously.
But
Now,
Michael,
they wanted to be chasing 90 odd where it looked like 90 odd. Now they're chasing 120 odd, and you're thinking, oh, they lose a couple of early ones.
But 127, when you have 120 balls to, it all seems very doable and almost feels like this is a perfect time to get in and get your first game in. It's not that 140 space where you feel it could get tricky. 127 feels
I'm
like...
saying they should win. But I'm just thinking they've not won. They've lost 5 in 5. Their batting's been... And the last partnership, what was it? 31? 31. Dre Russ got on to 127. You're starting to think, wait a minute. And you saw David Warner's face and wait a minute, we're not chasing 90, we're chasing 127. They should win, but I don't think they'll win as easy as you think.
Harsha, just a little bit on Ishant Sharma. We spoke about him in the pre-match show. All these, youthful, above 33 category of sportsmen who are coming in and really doing well. So it's almost like, guys, look at us. We're here. We've got the experience. We know what to do. Yeah. 4 overs, 19 runs, those 2 wickets.
And he's not the only one. There's so many like him who are coming and doing that. Amit Mishra is doing it. Piyush Chawla is doing it. MS Dhoni is much older than him and he's still around doing stuff. Maybe there's something to be said for experience, just understanding what to do in given conditions. So, yeah, it's good to see. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of goodwill accompanying him when he was running into bowl because there's something about the underdog, right? The underdog runs into bowl and so it was good fun. But I only hope they don't lose too many wickets early in their chase. Suppose they're suddenly 10 for 2, they're suddenly going to scratch around and probably get there in the 19th.
So you're listening to me now, Harsha, aren't you?
I'm not liking where this is going because I thought, okay, David Warner's going to say it's 127 and he's going to go for it.
Do you know, but you're absolutely right. And David Warner should be in that dressing room now saying, boys, we've got to get this quick. We're at the bottom of the table. We haven't won a game. We've got to win and we've got to get our net run rate starting to go in the right direction. So they have to come out and play aggressively and they have to try and chase it down quickly.
Are they thinking that way or are they thinking, let's get 2 points?
Well, they've got to get 2 points and improve the net run rate because
they have any chance.
They're not going to suddenly win. I can't think 8 out of 9 games. They might win 7, and you never know. 7 might be good enough, but it'll be all down to net run rate. So they might as well make the use. I always look at these kind of tournaments, and when you get a chance to improve your net run rate, make sure you capitalise on that chance.
We'll have a look at the Delhi's batting 11 because there is David Warner and Prithvi Shaw who will open. I mean, Mitch Marsh has been coming at 3. Prithvi obviously has been substituted. But again, the Warner-Prithvi combination has done very well in the past. They've just not been able to click this season. So maybe this is the game.
They were the pair last year, weren't they? Just getting them out of flying starts every time. And this time, I don't think they've got one start actually. I think in one of the early games, Prithvi Shaw might have got off to a few. But he hasn't scored a run. Warner scored a lot of runs, but he's taken a lot of time to score those runs. So the biggest plus they would want out of this is if Warner and Prithvi can go and get 50-60 in the power play and just hit the ball well, get 50-60 in the power play and say, okay, we are back now. So they don't only want to win, they want to get back to a certain method of batting.
But Michael, a little bit on Prithvi Shaw because he has been a little circumspect with his footwork. Like he's been going not forward, not back. It just shows he's not been very confident. With this target, will he get that, the weight of his shoulder and say, let me just be who I am and go for it?
Yeah, I mean, you think he'll target him because pace. It was early in the tournament, Mark Wood bowled him. His feet went nowhere. He looked like he was waiting for the short ball. It was full. He just was nowhere near the line or the pitch of the ball. I think it's the beginnings for Prithvi. I think he needs runs. You can't just keep going on your reputation. You can't just keep going on what you've done in the past. You have to produce runs in the here and now, and he's had a poor start. I don't think he's got beyond the power play yet with the bat in hand. So it's a target that won't intimidate you as a batter because you're not looking at the 190. There's no real pressure in terms of the scoring rate, but I think it's very important that he comes out and plays the way that he has done in the past in terms of being positive, but he needs to be there at the end of the 6th, and then he's got to see his team home. If he gets that chance to see his team home, he wants to be shaking the opposition's hand with a 60-70 not out if he can be.
Well, they love playing against Kolkata. Their strike rate, numbers speak for themselves because their strike rate against Kolkata is very high. So
yeah, I'm particularly waiting to see how Umesh Yadav bowls to him. He's looked a little tired in the games that I've seen so far. So if he can get his rhythm right, he'll get the new ball to swing a lot. At the other end is Kulwant Kejrolia. He hasn't played a lot of cricket for a while now. Hasn't played the IPL for a while. Might be a bit rusty. Just the kind of bowler someone like a Shaw might want to go into. The only other seam bowler is Andre Russell. So there isn't a lot in terms of pace to hurt Prithvi Shaw. So he should use this opportunity and make it big.
Well, the Kolkata bowlers haven't really fired. The pressure's been a lot on the spinners with Narayan and Varun. And they can't get a Suyash Sharma in because they got that substitute already. So maybe they are also under pressure considering the bowlers haven't really fired? Yeah,
I mean, so far tonight, KKR have had a bit of a stinker. Nothing's gone right for them. Everything they've tried. I mean, you look at a lot of their dismissals as well. They just picked out like the deep mid-wicket fielder. There's one fielder out on the fence. Sullivan Marine hit one straight down cow corner. Jason Roy played a sweet shot. It went straight to the fielder. So you can say they're slightly unfortunate, but it didn't look right from the start. From the first few overs, it just didn't look like their batting line that was firing. And they've basically said to the bowlers that we're a bit depleted in the bowling department as well, and we've not given you a great deal to defend. So all the best.
Do you think the load then lies on like a Umesh and probably a Sunil Narayan's shoulders?
And a Varun Chakravarti. So Narayan and Chakravarti have to get the wickets. Question is how quickly do you get them on? This white ball swinging a little bit, so they'll want Umesh Yadav to swing it for a couple of overs. Hope he gets a wicket. Because they don't get that early breakthrough, this game is ending quickly. And I'm not saying it only because it's quite late at night, but that's the way I think it will pan out. Mitch Marsh doesn't hang around. So he'll go boom, boom, boom at the start. Phil Salt will bat like that. So if they get a start, this game's getting over quickly.
30 for 3, they need to have them.
Yeah, that's what they were.
Yeah, they have them 30 for 3 and you've not won a game. And You know, the batting department of Delhi has been poor. You know, but if you can get them 30 for 3, those bad vibes, those memories of the previous 5 games will go flooding through the dugout. If they're 30 for none after 3 or 4, I think Delhi will stroll the match. But the only chance KKR have is because of the 5 games that Delhi have lost. There will be a few gremlins in that dugout if they lose 2 or 3 early ones. Because
besides the opening problem, also the number 3 has not been able to fire. So, well, there has been that Manish Pandey who's got that 150, but Mitch Marsh has not really done what everyone expected him to do.
I suspect Manish Pandey will bat at 5 today. I won't be surprised if he bats at 5, with Mitch Marsh at 3, Salt at 4 and Manish Pandey at 5. That's the way I look at it, because Warner's not dropping down and there's no point playing Shaw somewhere else. I think that's the way they'll go, and they'll just use Manish Pandey as a kind of circuit breaker in case they lose wickets to take you home. So that's the way I see them going.
Yeah, I'm going to give Mitchell Marsh a bit of an excuse. He was getting married. He had a lot on his mind. And now he's gone home, he's got married, he'll be fine.
Well, most Indian cricketers who get married and they come back, they're in great form. That's happened very often. So maybe it rubs off onto him.
Well, I think he just thought he got 0-4-0. So it wasn't a great kind of, pre-marriage form. He'll be fine now, he's married. He'll have had a few nice glasses of wine in Australia at the wedding. He's got back on the plane, he'll be fine.
Well, Phil Salt comes in today. You spoke about him in the pre-match show and you felt that he's, I don't know, remember your words, but you said he's not the most eloquent looking player, if I'm right.
No, again, I don't want to be disrespectful to him, but if I was choosing a player to copy, I wouldn't be copying Phil Salt. If I was saying young players, copy Phil Salt. He's got good numbers. Look at the strike rate there, 152. Average is pretty good when you think that he bats at the top of the order, just under 30. But he's agricultural. If it's in his arc, he kind of, the old-fashioned Sunday afternoon, it just goes over the fences into the cows. But he's effective. But I wouldn't be saying to young players, try and copy him. I think there's a few other players that I'd copy before Phil.
I'm thinking of some of these farmers when they're planting their seeds and they're looking at this cricket man saying, do we really plant them as ugly as these people do it? They keep calling it agricultural. Yeah, I know.
No, but, like you said, as long as he gets the job done, because, Delhi doesn't want him to look pretty as long as he gets the runs in.
Each one's got to find their way of getting runs. Eventually, you've got to find a way of scoring runs that is best for you, that's best suited for you. If you want to bat like Tendulkar but don't have the skills, there's no point. If you have great eyes, you say, okay, I picked the ball early, I'll hit through the line. Each person has to find their way. If you're good enough to be picked in an auction as an overseas batter, it means your style is already working for you. So, good on him.
Kuldeep was a happy man today. You could see that big smile on him. He got those 2 wickets, 3 overs, 15 runs. It means a lot to him. It really means a lot to him. It's also about, well, not proving a point to anyone, but just about, well, I'm here. I'm doing it opposite your team now.
KKR, I think they only played him 1 game. They released him. There's some unhappy memories, I think, at Kolkata for Kuldeep. And it also came at a time when he had lost his place in the Indian side. There was a game, I think Moeen Ali just went after Kuldeep and he just could not land. So he was going through that difficult phase, then KKR released him. I think he's also, as I said in the pre-show, slightly emotional kind of person. So he sees Delhi as his home now. He's much happier here. I wouldn't be surprised if he's come back into the Indian team, he's bowling well. So, but it's not always that you see such almost an angry response from him.
True. Well, we failed miserably. I tried not to bring it up, but we have to predict the power play predictions.
12.
We failed miserably. So, well,
no, it's going to go well. I'm going to be positive for Delhi. I think it's going to go well. 52.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. 52, the game's over.
Yeah.
I'm going 46, 44, 45 types. 45.
Oh, I'm stuck again.
Go for, two people can have the same score.
You can go 35 and make it a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the one making the game.
What is your instinct telling you? Forget this content.
Okay.
What is instinct telling you?
I think it's going to be in the 50s.
Okay,
so
she's going 51.
50. I'll just do 50. So
okay.
52.
52,
45.
52, 45, 50. That's what I'm going to go with because we all want Delhi to finally get off the mark. That's what we're all hoping happens. We'll wait and watch because that's all we have time for right now. Don't forget to join us at the 10 over point in the Cricbuzz com box.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ಲಕ್ನೋ ಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ ಚೆನ್ನೈ
Hyderabad Superfast Express
পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दें